Yes, we are talking about the temperatures this morning. We had quite a build-up. We let it get warm, and the letdown has been the last couple days. It is a cold start out there. You're looking out across Indianapolis, and you knew that the cold weather was coming, but it does feel like a shock to your system. We're glad you're up with us here on 13 Sunrise at 6 o'clock on your Thursday morning. I'm Julia, along with Julia and Sean, who, by the way, loves the drop in the temperatures right now.
He does.
I was ready for it to get a little cooler, but I'm still getting used to it.
Yeah, you would be fine if snow started to fall, wouldn't you?
I will gladly take 20 below wind chills over a 95 to 100 plus degree
Let's
heat.
make your time on
That's
Sunrise
just me.
today and tomorrow.
Yes.
Don't bring that energy.
We're
here to
only
Sunrise.
accepting you.
Matt will be back here next week, friends.
Okay.
You just stuck me for a couple of days here. Let's get into it. Yeah, we're going to show you some 30s and 40s. You know, listen, it's October. This is how it should be. We were living on Easy Street for a long time. We had the 80s. Now this morning, out the door, you should have a coat. You'll need it. Please send the kids out with them. Let them know, though, if they're like my kids, they don't want to take that jacket. They will not need it all day long. By lunchtime, we're near 60, and we're well in the 60s this afternoon. 46 officially right now in Indy. A northeast wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's your forecast for today. Autumn air, mainly sunny, so double nickels at 11 o'clock here. 2, 3 o'clock, we're in the low to mid 60s, and it will be a real comfortable afternoon. Just a few fair weather clouds that pop up. Now, as we go into this afternoon, highs typically right around 70, so just a little below that. In fact, it may be our coolest afternoon we've had in a little more than 4 months. Forecasting 39 for the Indianapolis, but definitely going to have some mid to low 30s on the map here as we go into tomorrow morning. All right, at 6:02, let's get you the latest on the roadways here. Thankfully, at least at this point, no traffic accidents to report. We had one earlier this morning on 70 near the north split. I'm showing you the south split that's going to get a little busy here. Please know that if you're just about to head out, or if you head out a little later this morning, this is going to be a trouble spot with the construction there. And we're also all eyes on 31 there. This is at 116th Street where the Level Up project is underway. Just know that the tributaries around here are going to be backed up as well, as a lot of folks are going to have to get around some of these projects that are underway. We'll keep you updated throughout the morning.
Sean, thank you. And now we have new information this morning about a story that's quite bizarre, and we've been following it. It's a Putnam County woman. She's been missing for more than a week. Well, last night she was found alive.
Yeah, the Putnam County Sheriff's Office put an alert for her last week after a fire at her home. Marina Silva has been following this story, sharing the very latest that we just learned last night. Marina, good morning.
Good morning. Well, it was just before 7:30 last night that first responders found her. She was found just 2.5 miles from her home in a wooded area. Now, I spoke with her family late last night. They told me they were with her at the hospital as she was getting checked out. But let's start from the beginning here. The investigation first began when a fire was reported at Guard's house last Wednesday. She was supposed to be at her daughter's volleyball game. Her daughter ended up getting a ride home from a friend and came home to find first responders trying to put out the fire. The sheriff's office used local, state, and federal resources to find her. Her disappearance is sparking an outcry on social media to spread the word to find her. Now the investigation turns on how they found her and what happened. So we're looking at some of those questions coming up at 6:30.
And I know the details are pretty blurry right now, but from what we've learned from last night, where did they say that she was found?
They were found she was found about 2.5 miles in a wooded area from her home in Putnam County.
Get more details from you in a bit. Thank you, Marina.
Well, we now know the state of Indiana will carry out its second death row execution this year.
And it could happen within the next 24 hours here. Roy Ward is set to die after midnight and before the sun comes up tomorrow morning at the state prison in Michigan City. Ward has withdrawn the last 2 federal lawsuits asking to delay his execution.
This move does come after the parole board unanimously rejected his bid for clemency. He's been on death row for years after a judge sentenced him to death for the rape and murder of 15-year-old Stacy Payne. That happened in southern Indiana in 2001.
It's 6:04, turning now to some disturbing allegations out of Johnson County this morning, where a 16-year-old is now charged with sexually assaulting a 79-year-old woman in her home.
Police tell us that woman was unloading her grocery delivery at the time when she was attacked. 16-year-old Rihanna Smith is now charged as an adult with rape and strangulation. Now, we did just get court documents in this case. They say the victim asked Smith to pray with her. He did, but then police say he sexually assaulted her.
After the alleged attack and just minutes later, really blocks away, police say that Smith tried to steal a vape pen at a gas station in New Whiteland. Well, the owner chased Smith down afterwards and saw where he was heading. Apparently, he called 911, and that's what helped lead to his arrest.
I feel so happy, and by God's grace, I'm okay, and he got caught, and another person will not get hurt in the future, you know.
The Johnson County prosecutor did ask the court for a $250,000 cash bond for Smith. We are working to learn when he will make his first appearance in court.
An Indianapolis nightclub may soon be losing its liquor license.
It's been 2 years that it's been open, the Moon Bar and Grill. But since then, police say they've seen fights there, thefts, underage customers, even calls for gunfire there. The bar's liquor license expires on November 12th.
So it's up to the Marion County Alcoholic Beverage Board. They did vote 3-1, though, against renewing this. Board members say letters actually of concern from neighbors in this area, even businesses, are what influenced that decision. Owner of that bar, TJ Singh, says he hopes the bar can reinvent itself as a sports bar. Now, the denial appeal will now go before the state's Alcohol Commission. A meeting is scheduled for that on October 21st. An Indianapolis woman has found a new way to remember the victims of a quadruple murder from 17 years ago.
It's a memorial, but maybe not a traditional one that you're used to seeing. Anna Chalker is live this morning in downtown Indianapolis talking about Charlie Choose. Explain that name for us and the significance to this memorial.
Well, ladies, good morning. It's in the Martindale Brightwood neighborhood, and when you get to this area, it's just off of 25th Street. I'll tell you a big thing that's on the side of this building, a photo of Charlie, who the shop is named after. So I want to take you to that shop there in that neighborhood. It's a bright white and purple building, as you can see, and it's just like any other neighborhood convenience store with all this candy, treats, and snacks that you can think of. But it's a way to honor Charlie, that 5-month-old little girl. Charlie, her mother, another woman, and her baby were all shot and killed on Hovey Street back in 2008. And the owner, Shante Davidson, is Charlie's cousin. She says this store is a way to remember a little girl whose life was taken too soon.
I always wanted to do something in remembrance of their name. I have an agency where I do things geared towards seniors, and mostly, and with her only being 5 months old, I knew I couldn't utilize her name in that way, but she would have been 18 this year.
Really just a great way to honor Charlie and those other victims. So it just opened within the last week, and Davidson tells us she has a lot of big plans for the future of this store, and all of them are geared towards getting children to that area to really make it a safe spot for them. So coming up, we'll look into those ways that they're going to plan on making the kids get to that area, really just for a safe community center in the Martindale Brightwood neighborhood.
All right, Anna, thank you. Well, Indianapolis is investing millions of dollars into public works in the 2026 budget that will go towards road repairs, safety improvements, even equipment to maintain the roads and clear snow.
Yeah, this could help fix many of the damaged roads around our city. They've heard your complaints. More than $70 million will be dedicated just towards that. That's for 200 lane miles of streets, 40,000 potholes, safer intersections and crosswalks too, and more.
Now, Councilor Joshua Bain tells us infrastructure is his top issue by his constituents. Now, he also tells us that he voted against this budget, saying that he believed it just didn't have enough money.
It's at least 20% of what we should be spending on our roads. And the more that we don't invest in our infrastructure, the infrastructure just gets older and older.
City County Council Majority Leader Maggie Lewis tells us that the budget addresses priority across every district.
Vice President J.D. Vance is headed back to Indianapolis this week.
According to our partners at the Capitol Chronicle, he's expected to meet with Republican state senators tomorrow, and we can only assume talking about redistricting our state. So this will be the vice president's second trip to Indiana in about 2 months. He did meet with Governor Braun and other top Republicans when he was here in August.
This is a part of that push from the White House on redistricting. Currently, 7 of Indiana's 9 districts favor Republicans. Hoosiers are getting some help feeding their families very soon.
The Indianapolis Office of Public Health and Safety hosted a food giveaway yesterday. We know people could be seen dropping by Mount Olive Missionary Baptist Church to pick up that free food last night. Now, organizers say the area is a food desert, so they are seeing more and more people in this area in need.
There are 2 more events like this month. If you want to connect somebody or your family needs a little help, we have the dates and the locations right now at WTHR.com. Israel and Hamas agree to the first phase of a peace plan. What comes next for the 2-year war?
And the federal government still shut down now in its 9th day.
We'll tell you how it's impacting some major purchases for a lot of families.
And keeping babies safe while they sleep, an important reminder for parents and other caregivers straight ahead.